A little bit about the overall arching series and why we have three episodes.
Doing a faith and wellness series during the season leading up to Resurrection Sunday or Easter Sunday. We're focusing on the scripture, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And last time we talked about overcoming fear with power. Yeah. And so today we're going to talk about love.
The Key to a Sound Mind, Part 2. It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 217. Hello, welcome to Hunt for Wellness. I'm John Hunt.
And I'm Christy Hunt.
And this is the show where we help you live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. And this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines providing great water for your great wellness. Check it out at waterdistillers.com. All right, this is part 2.
Yes.
Let's remind people that we did have part 1 last time.
Key to a Sound Mind, part 2.
Yes.
Yes, we had part 1.
Part 1, and that was all about, overcoming fear, right?
Yes.
And we talked about that, but tell us a little bit about the overall arching series and why we have 3 episodes.
Doing a faith and wellness series during the season leading up to Resurrection Sunday or Easter Sunday. We're focusing on the scripture, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And last time we talked about overcoming fear with power. Yeah. And so today we're going to talk about love.
Ooh.
Yes.
What's love got to do with it? That's that old song, but no, I think love is a very strong thing.
God is love.
Well, God is love. Yeah. You can't have love without God, can you?
No, you can't. You really can't.
Yeah. Awesome.
So power without love is harsh.
Yeah.
Love without power is passive. But together they create stability.
Yes. That's awesome. And so for a sound mind, how do we apply love to that? How do we get love?
Love has to really be infused in everything that we do, because if it's not, it's a little off.
Right.
Yeah. So God has not given us a spirit of fear, so we don't have fear, but he's given us power and love.
Right.
And so fear can disguise itself in different ways. Like it can be irritable.
Yep.
Be controlling. Withdraw from the situation, or overreact. But love is a stabilizing emotion and action. Love pauses before responding. Love is patient and kind. Love listens and seeks understanding. So sometimes before we can respond in love, we need to calm our nervous system down so that we can respond in love, so we can take a moment, take a breath, so we're not reacting. Because it's really easy to be irritable.
Right.
And just respond in that way, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I would never be like that, but yeah, I understand what you're talking about, right?
Other people might have. Maybe you've had that experience.
Not me.
No. Yeah. Or maybe overreacted.
Yes. I think that's happened a few times.
Yes, once in a while, yes. So anyways, none of us are perfect, and none of us will do everything right or have done everything right in the past. And that's okay. We're human people.
Right.
Imperfect. So today's wellness oil supports that calming, which would be lavender, that we're going to use for like relaxation and calming ourselves down. Okay. And then surrender essential oil blend can be used for emotional release.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, you know what? We should, before we go on to that, when we talk about surrender there and the emotional release, we had another podcast on the emotional release technique, and definitely want to check that out. So if you go over to huntforwellness.com, episode number 217, which is this one, in the show notes, we'll link to that emotional release technique episode, because it's a really good one that explains how do oils help affect you and your emotion and releasing emotions.
Yeah, and they really do.
Yeah, you'll hear stories in there about how that works. But
yes.
surrender
exactly.
is great oil.
Yeah, it is. So is lavender.
Yep.
I mean, lavender I can feel it calm me down.
Yeah.
Just like my shoulders start going back to normal.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I didn't even know they were up,
Mm-hmm.
by my ears, so to speak.
Well, lavender too is one of those like what we call like the base oils.
The Swiss Army knife of essential oils. Yeah.
You got a couple of them. You got lavender, peppermint, and thieves, and frankincense, but lavender has so many uses.
Yes.
And like if you were only going to buy one oil, that might be the one you buy, but it depends on your situation.
Right. So there's lavender for calming, but then surrender. So really helps in letting go. It's very good in balancing the emotions, especially when you're unfocused or off balance. It helps to clear the mind, reduce stress, and promotes calming. So it's a really, really good oil. And I love diffusing this one next to my bed at night, like letting go of the day and the feelings and the emotions and trusting God for whatever the situation is.
Right. And that's, if you're talking about the spiritual aspect of a lot of this, which is definitely in this series, surrender is something that we have to do. Right. And it's not like the, give up surrender.
No.
It is, but it isn't. It's, just turning your life over to the Lord to help guide and direct you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, emotional reactions are often rooted in unprocessed fear. Like we don't even know that we're feeling fear.
Right.
But we might feel threatened, which is a form of fear, misunderstood, disrespected, overlooked. And if we're feeling that way, our body reacts.
Mm-hmm.
But love asks, what is actually happening here?
Right.
So it's really good to do this evening practice, like an emotional reset ritual where you diffuse lavender, you get your journal out, you go, what happened today? Did fear show up today?
Mm-hmm.
Journal about that. What went well in the situation? What did not go so well in the situation? And what could I do differently next time? Apply surrender over the heart when you're doing this.
Nice.
And like I said, it's so good for balancing the emotions and letting go. And then pray, Lord, I release what I cannot control. I put it into your hands. I surrender this situation to you. Please work it out. Work out everything for good. He hears our prayers and he answers them.
He does.
It might not be the way we think, though.
Right. That's his will be done.
And we have to kind of release that too.
Right.
That he's doing it in a different way. So love flows more easily from a heart that's not gripping and holding on so tightly. So just releasing things, holding things lightly is important. So, that's that.
That's surrender.
That's surrender.
And lavender and a sound mind.
Right.
Through love.
So also before difficult conversations with people, you can apply lavender. Ask yourself, how can I respond in love? And that pause might change everything. So we're not called to live reactive. We're called to be proactive.
Yes.
Because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, which is steady, patient, and strong. Let love lead your tone, guide your words, and shape your reactions or actions. And then watch your relationships transform.
That is awesome.
Doesn't that sound wonderful?
It sounds wonderful. Yeah. Well, this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines providing great water for your great wellness. Check it out at waterdistillers.com. And so we made it now through 2 of the 3 episodes on a sound mind. So I can hardly wait. Do you know what the topic is for the 3rd? Of course you do.
Yes.
Of course you know. They're all done, but
yes.
So we'll get into that one next time. Just though, I want to again point out that episode that we did on the emotional release technique, and it really helps explain a lot of what goes on with your body and your emotions, and how oils can interact with that to really change your emotions. I mean, that's literally what it is. And you can find it right up here, or you can go over to huntforwellness.com, episode number 217, and in our show notes we'll have a link right there to it, so you don't have to, or you can just go search on the site, emotional release technique. So lots of ways to find that episode, but make sure you come back next time for part 3 of a sound mind, the key to a sound mind, right here on Hunt for Wellness.